Hello, YouTube fam. How y'all doing? It's your Uncle Tim. This is Uncle Tim Rants and Reviews, the channel where I rant and I review. I'm your host, Uncle Tim. Man, a lot of y'all still asking me, man, why did you stop collecting? Just had to, man. It just wasn't feasible at this particular point in time. I paid off one of the credit cards. I'm working on paying off the other one. Started already. But, that's a work in progress, man. It's a lot of things people just don't see. You paying off these bills, right? And I hear a lot of people say you get a worst advice in the world I ever heard. Why is anybody listening to you? You telling people to stay in debt. No, I'm not. Telling people to live your damn life. You don't know how long you're gonna be on this planet. Buckle down for 2 years and pay off all your debt. Hell, shit, you may just live for those 2 damn years. You done paid off all your debt, now you're dead. That ain't living. Man, you gotta live your damn life. You got to have some semblance of some normal life. Just going home eating ramen noodles every night and you don't have to? Come on, man. No, but you telling people, I'm telling you to pay your bills, but I'm telling you, don't overdo it. Don't overdo it to the point where you just sitting there and you not living your life at all, man. Sometimes we are in situations that we didn't put ourselves in. No fault of our own. Somebody passed away, you had to pay a funeral. Somebody sick, you had to help out. You had to help pay a relative's bill or something. Or, you had to pay somebody's rent. Pay a condo. You don't know. It's just shit out there that just happens unexpectedly. And people think that everything is somehow on some sort of chart, like, well, this is the thing that can happen now. No, shit just happened random, man, and you just sitting there shaking your head because you don't know how to deal with it, man. Because sometimes, man, you so damn tapped out. It's just like, man, all your emotions are gone. You be like, man, look, I just don't got no more fucks to give. And I'm serious, sometimes it feels like that. I have zero fucks to give. And it's not you being mean or being nasty. It's just like, man, I just don't have nothing else to give. And people think you wrong for that. Dude, sometimes you sit back and you just like, man, it's just real. And I was talking to somebody about that, and they said, man, when you gonna stop crying about jobs and bills and get back with the toys, bro? You know what, I'm gonna tell you something? Shit is real right now. I go out and buy 5 damn toys that ain't don't make me feel good. I'm sitting here thinking I just spent what, $120 damn? Come on, man, make it make sense, dude. Shit, that shit'll drive you crazy right there. I understand to a young person who ain't got it out a damn bill. You living with your mom and dad, you know, you know. But to somebody who on their own and shit like that, and you got to pay these bills, that $120, you'd be like, man, that could have been the light bill or the gas damn bill. You got to be honest with yourself. You got to start thinking about shit. You can't be out here just blowing your money. There's a lot of people out here that ain't working right now. They trying to think of how they gonna pay their damn bills. You talking about a damn toy? Shit, you could have that damn toy, but shit, you might be outside playing with the damn toy. That toy ain't gonna be fun no more when somebody else looking at you like, yeah. People out here, wow, man, it's dangerous as shit out here. You ever notice homeless people come up missing? You don't see homeless people too much. And people say, no, people die off and they move around, they stop being homeless. That don't always happen. Bruh, once you get used to that, it's hard to come out of that. I think a lot of people don't understand. You know, man, I tell a lot of people before they get into these lifestyles that I'm gonna stay in a tent. Uh, I'm gonna stay in my car. I'm gonna stay in a shed, a tiny home, storage unit. Bruh, I understand you gotta do what you gotta do, but that shit come with consequences up the ass. Every action has a reaction, man. And that's the thing that I think a lot of people don't understand. It's just, man, you need to prioritize what you need to do. And I hear a lot of people won't say again, you telling them wrong. You should be telling them to pay off all their bills. They paying all their bills, but if you say paying all your bills, you can't save no damn money. With so much shit happening right now, you don't have a penny to your damn name ain't good. You be using that damn credit card right again because you need to live off of it now. This is why I say pay what you can. If your bill is 25 or 30, if your bill $30, if you could afford to pay 45, you good. If you could afford to pay 60 a month, you good. You know, people say, man, you telling people not to pay off all their debt and live in debt. Bro, you gonna live in debt for the rest of your damn life. If you own a home, you in debt right now. You don't own that damn home. You stop paying that damn property taxes, they gonna take your home. You didn't know that? Shit, you don't pay your water bill, they fuck around and auction that whole house off on you. Dude, I done seen people get shit done to them real dirty out here. It's real. This is why I say you gotta really pay attention to the stuff you're doing. You gotta call it for what it is, man. And you out here, you try to do your best. And people are hitting you like, oh man, nobody told you to take them loans out. Nobody told you to get a mortgage. Nobody told you to get a car note. Nobody told you to, get credit card debt. Sometimes shit happen, bro. Sometimes you are thrown for a loop and you have no other way of survival. I knew people who lived off their credit cards for a year or two because they had to. Nobody was hiring. Shit, they needed to pay stuff. They needed a place to live. Dude, you gotta do what you gotta do. So many people turn their nose up at you because they never had to experience that. But it's so many people out here experiencing shit that you would never ever probably go through. People say don't look at what the rich got, because just because they got all that money don't mean they happy. Just because you poor don't mean you happy either. Shit, don't ever think that. Poor and miserable, shit, poor and hungry. People always tell you, I'd rather be guilty and rich than poor and innocent because you're not going to get a fair ass trial. It's just realistic. I'm just sitting here just being honest with a lot of people. And I think a lot of people just don't get the honesty. They think, oh man, what happened? There's so much shit happening with everybody. Man, people are going through shit left and right, and people just don't understand it. They make it seem like everything has been right for so long. Shit been broken for years. Shit been broken for decades. But nobody ain't saying shit. This is why nobody ever think it's anything wrong. You never understand anything until it happens to you. Bruh, people can tell you that people losing their jobs left and right. Man, nobody losing their job. They just running their mouth, just lying. You fuck around, lose your job is a whole nother thing because it happened to you. That thing people always say, can't happen to me. Yeah, it can happen to any damn body. It's real out here, bro. People walk around with a chip on their shoulder. They ready to pull a gun. I don't give a damn what neighborhood you in. People are ready to go to fuck off. Road rage is at an all-time high. People picking fights with people. People doing crazy shit that you just couldn't see happening in real life. You like, damn, is this some sort of, reality TV show or something like that? An episode of The Rookie or 911 or something, or Cops. You sitting here thinking to yourself, what in the actual hell? This is why I say, with so much of negativity going on around us, all around us, you gotta somehow keep yourself up, keep your head up. You gotta be able to say, man, I was listening to this guy. He said, man, you buckle down, you pay those debts off, and you'll come out of it in 2 years. But in 2 years, how you gonna pay your damn bills? People don't understand. You still need to fucking live. You still need to have a life. 2 years of paying bills off, your ass will burn out. And guess what? Most of the time when you do that 2 years of doing something, you end up getting fucked most of the time in the process. I ain't gonna lie, you do. You end up getting butthurt. You end up finding out this was some shit I shouldn't have done. I shouldn't have wasted all this time doing this. Because, man, that pop off so quick, man. Shit happen whereas you're not able to really deal with stuff, man, and you just sitting there trying to understand how to fix stuff, man. And I listen to so much and I hear so much. It's just a lot. And trying to deal with your problem and other people's problem. People that are close to you, and you trying to find a way out of no way. And I think a lot of people don't understand. This is why I say you got to be on top of your shit. This is why I say there's so many angry people that sit back and just want to tell you something, but you're not listening. Sometimes you need to open your ears and listen because you might hear some things that can help you. People tell you all these things to do with your money. Take your spare money. Some people don't got spare money. Some people just got enough. All day you need to find somewhere to live where you can, have some money that left over. Dude, we live in a world right now, still 5 years out of the pandemic, basically. Pandemic fucked up everything for everybody. People didn't pay their rent in most places and end up, this is what we got. Landlords, who were charging you like $1,200 and $1,300 rent, now charge you $26,000 and $3,000 worth of rent, trying to make up all the money they lost because again they still have to pay their home loans. And Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, they try to take them public right now. So just imagine all the fuckery you about to have going on right now. Like I tell you too, a lot of people walking away from their homes right now. A lot of people walking away from their cars because they can't afford them right now. It's a lot of shit going on that you're not seeing. A lot of people just saying, fuck it. I felt like that the other day. I wanted to throw my hands up and just walk away. Then I heard some shit today that just made me just put my head down and just want to cry. You think you got it bad. And you listen to some other stuff and you just want to cry because it's just so bad and you're just not there. You want to be here and you want to be all upbeat to everybody, but sometimes you can't be like that. Sometimes you just showing who you really are, man. Sometimes the emotions come out and you just want to cry. You just want to talk to people and tell them it's going to be okay. Because, people go through shit, man. But till later, thank you for watching. Peace out.